As preachers, ministers bear witness to what is true. This happens most visibly during the sermon, the sacrament of the Word. Our theological lineage as Unitarian Universalists extends back to the 16th century Protestant reformers, who took their liturgical cues from the Christian New Testament, where we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." In contrast, the central sacrament in Catholic and Orthodox liturgies is Holy Communion, also known as the Eucharist. A central altar typically dominates the sanctuary of Catholic and Orthodox churches, while Protestant churches typically give prominence to the pulpit, as does the architecture of All Souls. For Unitarian Universalist preachers, the scope of the sermon includes, well, everything. As the statement on the inside of the cover of our order of service puts it, we gather to contemplate the mystery of God, the wisdom of religion, and explore the insights of science. Our obligation as preachers is to bear witness to the truth as we understand it, about our lives and our relationships, our aspirations as a religious community and our destiny as a nation, our obligation to the rest of creation, and our responsibility to generations who will come after us. As preachers, we bear witness to what is true. As pastors, ministers bear witness to what is broken. The word pastor derives from a Latin word meaning shepherd. According to the Christian New Testament, Jesus once told a parable to some religious leaders who complained that he spent too much time associating with people of ill repute. Jesus responded with a story about a shepherd who was responsible for 100 sheep, but discovered that one of them had been lost. The shepherd left his 99 sheep in the wilderness and pursued the one that was lost. When he found the sheep, he placed it on his shoulders and rejoiced. He went home, called his friends together, and said, "Come, celebrate with me, for I have found my sheep that was lost." Sometimes we need to set aside what will result in the greatest good for the greatest number. If one person is in trouble, everyone else must wait. Make no mistake, no one of my acquaintance has ever likened Unitarian Universalists to sheep. But the point remains. Our duty as pastors is to bear witness to what is broken. You have a place to turn when times get tough. Broken hearts, wounded spirits, failed relationships, shattered dreams. Whenever you find yourself lost in a dark night of the soul, you need a pastor. Our covenant with you is to respond to your call for help. As pastors, we bear witness to what is broken. As prophets, ministers bear witness to what is right. The Hebrew Bible relates an iconic story about the prophet Elijah. It takes place during a time when the people of Israel were suffering from an extended drought. They prayed to God for rain, but no rain was forthcoming. Discouraged, some of the Israelites began worshiping the Phoenician sky god named Baal, who was believed to control the rain. Over time, Baal attracted many prophets and worshipers among the people of Israel. Elijah, the faithful but increasingly exasperated prophet of the God of Israel, finally had enough. He proposed a contest, a showdown on Mount Carmel between Baal and the God of Israel. Elijah called all the people and prophets together and laid down the gauntlet. "How long will you go limping along with two different opinions?" he asked. "Choose this day whom you will serve. If the Lord is God, follow God. But if Baal is God, then follow Baal." The contest required each side to prepare an animal sacrifice and invoke their God to send fire down from heaven to consume it. Whichever God responded would be the true God. As you might expect, the God of Israel won the contest, and the people promptly repented. In the centuries since Elijah, the role of the gods has changed, but the challenge of the prophet has not. Choose. Choose this day to pursue a worthy purpose. Choose this day to embody an exemplary virtue. Choose this day to uphold a noble value. Bob Dylan put it this way in one of his songs: "You gotta serve somebody. It may be the devil or it may be the Lord, but you gotta serve somebody." Choose this day whom you will serve. As prophets, we bear witness to what is right. As priests, ministers bear witness to what is transcendent. A priest serves as a mediator. In some traditions, the priest is viewed as a mediator between a perfect God and sinful humanity. In our tradition, the priestly role bears witness to the experience of transcendence, our sense of being connected to everything. When I speak of God, it is usually in this sense: as our most expansive symbol of all that is past and all that is possible. No matter how dire our circumstances, we find hope in knowing that something is possible beyond what is present. As priests, we bear witness to what transcends this time and this place. Yes, Lissa will be a minister, preacher, pastor, prophet, priest. She has responded to a sacred calling and embarked upon a daunting journey. But here's the good news for Lissa. She has lots of company. Ministry, as it turns out, isn't just for ordained professionals anymore. Ministry is the calling of everyone who enters into the covenant that unites us as a congregation. James Luther Adams was the leading Unitarian theologian during the first half of the 20th century. In perhaps his most famous essay, he declares, "I call that church free, which enters into a covenant with the ultimate source of existence, that sustaining and transforming power not made with human hands. It is a pilgrim church, a servant church, on an adventure of the Spirit. The goal is the prophethood and priesthood of all believers." The word minister is the diminutive form of a Latin word, and it means simply the least one. I am not a magister, the greatest one. I am a minister, the least one. This title reminds all of us that I am but one minister among many ministers. As members of a religious community, united by a shared covenant, we are all called to bear witness. Stuart has been called to bear witness to what is true. Pilar has been called to bear witness to what is broken. Hanan has been called to bear witness to what is right. Emily has been called to bear witness to what is transcendent, and so on. In our tradition, we are all ministers now. Marvin Gaye, in one of his Motown classics, memorably describes the cry of the heart. When life is unfair, people are unkind, and we're left feeling alone. He says, "Now you all do agree that this ain't the way love's supposed to be." The chorus ends with a question and a plea. Can I get a witness? I want a witness. All around us, people cry out for someone to bear witness to what is true, and what is broken, and what is right, and what transcends present pain to offer hope and healing. We are all ministers now. Can I get a witness? Amen. I love you. May God bless us all.